Hello, welcome back to Healerama. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got 3 piles today, and it's about what their thoughts and feelings are towards you and what their next steps will be. Here we have rose quartz, we have the ruby, and we also have pyrite. So just take a moment to take a deep breath and feel into which pile you're attracted to. Okay, so we've got rose quartz here. I'm just going to feel into what I'm getting about the person. So this person has a heart of gold. They are a kind, compassionate person. Having said that, they do come with a lot of trauma. When I say trauma, I mean that they have trouble expressing themselves in relationships. They've been hurt repetitively. I'm getting when they were a child, as well as in their most significant relationships to date, which is, with loved ones and lovers and that sort of thing. They are in a heavy state at the moment, is what I'm getting. They have some work to do in terms of clearing their heart space. So trust issues is what I'm getting. They also have issues with, it's like they spring from thing to thing, from relationship to relationship. So they're not very grounded. It's like their trauma's all coming up right now, and so they are just in a state. So I'm just going to pull that to the side, and we're going to pull some cards in relation to your connection with them. What's happening currently in your relationship with them? Jeez. Alright, so this is the current energy. So currently they're taking a lot of time for themselves. So they're working on their bodies and moving their bodies. They're spending a lot of time alone, and some are also spending some time, I'm getting, if they're in a certain faith or whatever, they're going to church or they're going to somewhere where they feel most safe, is what I'm getting. So they're quite a dominant personality. Excuse me, they might have light eyes. Excuse me. They tend to be the kind of person that that are a fighter. Like, they tend to fight more than what they love, and it's almost like they get triggered. And this is in relationships, they get triggered, and so their automatic response is to get their back up and rise up. Basically, you get a rise out of them. They do have a heart of gold. They have a lot of stuff to get through. So when I say stuff, I feel like there's trauma there. And like I said at the start, when I was talking about the person in general, they do have a lot of layers. They've got a lot of layers to them, and generally it's unresolved issues from the past and from their childhood. But having said that, at the same time, they have a lot of depth to them, and they are also intelligent. They're currently very in their head and retreating, so I feel like this is like a separation situation where they're not really communicating with you. They are thinking a lot about you. but they are just in a state of I can't deal with that right now because they've had a lot of stuff come up recently. They might have had a loss. They might have felt like they've failed in some kind of way. In the loss, I feel like they've lost someone recently, and has triggered a lot of stuff for them. They are quite anxious, and they generally don't really feel like they don't deal with their feelings, or they don't know how to manage their feelings very well. So that's their current energy. They're very outspoken as well, and that may be because they're quite anxious, and instead of letting people know that they can be quite outward facing, abrupt, intense people. So just put them aside. Sorry guys, I had to refilm this part because basically the camera was around the wrong way and you couldn't actually see the cards properly. So just bear with me. All right, so how does your person, pile one, feel about you? So we have these cards. I'm just going to explain them to you. So you are my everything. So basically they can see like a long future with you. They can see that you are for them. You're basically like everything they've ever wanted in a person. They want to start a family with you. They miss you, which is this card that's come up as well. Excuse me. They miss you. Some of the words exchanged or the words that you have spoken have hurt them in the past, and they want you to know that. I feel like you've known this person for a very long time, or you've known them in a past life kind of thing. So for some of you, that if that resonates with you, it's like a soulmate / twin flame kind of connection. Excuse me. So I'm finding it hard to speak, so I feel like they hold back a lot, and it's probably because they've been so traumatized in their lives, and the failed past relationships have really taken a toll on them. Basically, they have manifested someone like you into their lives, and now that you're here, it's like it's the initial stages of when you're coming close to what we say union, which is basically you both coming together and starting a life together. I feel like their intentions are that they want to start something with you, but they also need to be dealing with all the past coming up, particularly because they've been triggered. They also aren't exactly sure how you feel about them. So it almost feels like you both kind of hold back about each other, and you don't speak your truth. Like you both kind of hold back, and like there's a push and pull kind of situation where you both hold back. You're both trying to work out, what the other one wants, or what their intentions are, and what would actually be much easier for this person is for you to be absolutely upfront and honest with them about what you want. And they also kind of want you to reach out to them. They do, but they're a bit intimidated by you because they're not used to the connection they've got with you. So in the initial stages with like a twin flame relationship, like you know each other, like you either have known this person for such a long time, or you've known this person in other lifetimes, and what generally happens is when you come into this lifetime, you vowed that you wanted to come together. So this is stuff that needs to happen. You're basically the same soul, and you're one basically soul in higher dimensions. Whereas in this world, as in the 3D world, we are separate vessels or separate people. We're humans. And initially, at the start of this connection, when you first start kind of seeing each other, it's quite turbulent. It can be like a runner-chaser type dynamic. And when there's a period of separation, that period is because you need to both work on yourselves. Genuinely, the feminine works on themselves first, and then the masculine energy generally works on themselves after you finish your cycle, the feminines. So that's what's happening at the moment. I feel like you both want clarity on the situation, but at the same time, you're also so you're both working on yourselves. I feel like the feminine's still in that kind of situation of working on themselves. So it's like a domino effect. So whilst you're letting go of stuff, the other person is also letting go of similar stuff because you're very similar. I feel like you're both heading towards the light. So as in like the light cards come up, but I feel like that kind of series of events, so like working on yourselves and that sort of stuff, is coming to an end. But when is it coming to an end? I'm not talking about like this week. I'm talking about as in it feels like 3 to 6 months away. They miss you as well, and they wonder whether you miss them. They're not sure. So that's what I was saying about earlier. Like they think you have feelings for them, but they're not entirely sure because you kind of don't show that whole side of you, kind of thing. You kind of hold back. So I'm just going to find out what shadow sides are they working on at the moment. Okay, so as I said earlier, the shadow side that they're working on is they're stuck in their grief. It's easier to blame it on you. So for some of you, that might hit home really, really deep. So the next one is, I'm keeping my feelings for you secret. Look into my eyes and you'll see what I feel. And that's the shadow side. So as I was saying before, like they're going through a lot and they've been triggered since they've lost someone. It's easy to blame it on you because right now they can't bear to see or look at themselves in that kind of way. So once the feminine's done in that kind of area, and I feel like you're both doing it to each other, like you're both very similar people in this sort of sense, in the shadow sense more. You're stuck in your grief. It's easy to blame it on the other person, and you both have feelings for each other and you've kept it a secret. But you both can see it when you look at each other. I'm just going to ask for another shadow message. Okay. The next one is, I'm hiding behind a mask. So yeah, that's just confirming that they do have feelings for you and they're also keeping it basically away. So, what cards? Okay. So, in terms of actions, what actions should pile 1 take? What actions should pile 1 take? What actions... Oh, didn't realise. What actions should pile 1 take? So I'm getting drawn to okay, the vessel. What actions should pile 1 take? Okay, and the shapeshifter. Alright, so at the moment, okay, so what I'm getting from these cards, so I pulled another 3rd card, which is the prayer. So, what your action should be. No action is what I'm getting right now. There are things for you to work on or put your focus on. So put your focus on balancing your own energy, letting go of the stuff that you need to let go of for this connection to move forward. Don't obsessively think about what's happening in this connection, whether they're going to come back, whether they're going to say hello to you when they see you, and that sort of stuff. Focus on moving your body and your mental state and your energy. I know this is 3 different things, but it's all related to energy. Your body is your vessel. Your mind is part of that vessel, but it can also, I feel like there's a lot of you that are negative thinkers. And it's the kind of, and that's where it's easier to blame it on you. Like, you can almost see everyone else's faults, but you can't see your own. You're the first one to call them out, and that sort of thing. So what you should be focusing on is not them and what's happening with them or what's not happening with them. Focus on your body, mind, and balancing your energy. So if you need to look up feminine and masculine energy, because every person has it, have a look and see what you need to do to be able to balance it. There is guided meditations or meditation music on like YouTube and that sort of thing that can help with that. Through this process of you like working on yourself, so wholeheartedly, so just energetically, body-wise and mentally as well, you will go through massive shifts. And this is what is needed for this connection to be able to move forward. But the focus shouldn't be on this person that you're not in contact with. It should be on you and only you, because for it to happen in a quicker sense, basically between your twin flame slash, soulmate, you need to work on yourself and you need to start letting go of stuff that you've been holding on to for such a long time. It feels like really heavy burdens. It feels like mental clarity is needed. It feels like this is something that you need to, like, this is the no turning back point. You're going to shed some stuff if you do this, but you've got to want to do it is what I'm hearing. And the if is because you've talked about it before but you haven't actually gone through with it, or you've touched on it but then that's it. Like, healing and shaping and evolving and letting go of things that no longer like serve you, or the repetitive patterns that come up in relationships that make connections going to standstill, need to be worked on. And you've got to want to do that for yourself so that you can basically break into pieces and then rebuild yourself. If you need to meditate, if you need to go to church, whatever you need to do to be able to get mental clarity, like, this is what I feel like you're going to get mental clarity from. So meditating, so that could be a whole lot of different things for you. It could be that you listen to meditation music, and you don't have to download anything for it. You can just listen to it on YouTube if you want to. You can also, like, if church is your thing, you can go to church. I know some people that, go to church and they feel better. I'm not saying you have to go every Sunday, but I'm saying, like, be still is what I'm getting. So you've got to be still for this all to happen. You've got to be still because your mind is racing and you can't see any future or any way forward, because it's like you're both stuck. But because you're divinely connected, you need to do this. Otherwise, you're just going to be in absolute separation with this person. So I hope that that reading resonated with you. And if it did, please let me know in the comments. And I'll see you next time, Pile 1. Thank you. Hello, Pile 2. This is your reading. So if what I feel into this ruby doesn't resonate with you, this pile might not be for you. So check the other piles. All right, so pile 2. This person is rough around the edges. They have a really good heart. They are hardworking, kind of keep to themselves, don't really get involved in communities and that sort of thing. They can be quite anxious. and very loving. So if that resonates with you, what else am I getting? Smoke screens, basically. Smoke screens, another one. Okay, so smoke screens. What does smoke screens mean? They can be quite stubborn. They don't hot-headed and a bit hard on the outside, but they're like quite gooey on the inside is what I'm getting. So if that doesn't resonate with you, then this isn't for you. Okay, so we're just going to go into pile 2's current energy. So pull some cards for pile 2's current energy. One more. Okay. Alright, so currently this person, you can see they have unconditional love for you. They are like, even just now, like my energy has changed. I feel like I'm an alpha male. I have an alpha male kind of, or alpha female, depending on, you know, what kind of person you're thinking of. An alpha male kind of stance, like my chest is all puffed up, my back is straight. I, on the outside, are very outward facingly strong. I have like this person has unconditional love for you. And like I said before, they're like a diamond in the rough, rough around the edges kind of person. They are thinking very heavily about you, like you're on their mind constantly. They're quite anxious about you. For some of you, I feel like they don't know where they stand with you, but they feel so much for you. So it feels like it's early stages within your connection. Their current energy is that they're working on, like what I see is, say it's like a gemstone. So like with this one, with this card, like there's a gemstone and they've been covered, or they've been protecting themselves for such a long time that it's hard for them to like get rid of all the shrubs around them, so you can see their beauty and their light and their love for you. So at the moment, this person's, what else are we getting about this person's energy? They are, it feels like they've stonewalled you. It feels like they have, even though they come across as this outward strong kind of person on the outside, on the inside they can be quite anxious and they're insecure. They and that still come like in their current energy, that's what's coming up, like they're quite insecure. They're working on coming towards you with like an offer of some sort. It feels like the offer may be something casual, so if you're not into that, that's up to you, but this is what all they can kind of they can present you with at the moment, because they're quite insecure and they've got stuff so see they feel nervous around you. So I feel like you might intimidate them a bit, and this is because they're quite insecure. And even though their outward facing self may not come across that way, that's actually how they are on the inside. It's almost like they get choked up around you and they find it hard to actually speak to you or suggest catching up and that sort of thing. But don't be fooled by their insecurities. They've been through a lot, and I feel like they've been through a lot recently. They're actually spending some time, if you're in a separation, I feel like they're spending some time working on themselves and dealing with the past. So they may have been through something quite significant in their lives recently, like a breakup or that sort of thing. So they're on the mend. That's what I'm getting from the current energy. They're on the mend, but they're still kind of taking their time to go through that. Don't push them, because I feel like some of you may have, what's the word? May be really impatient and quite like get ticked off with this person because it's like the connection's at a standstill. Like it was going all right, and you know things are happening. You're kind of communicating more, but it feels like they've had to pull away to be able to work on themselves. And this is because they've been hurt in the past, and it has nothing to do with you personally, and they don't want you to take it personally. And I feel like if there is a period of situation, it is a situation, a situationship even. It feels like the connection that you've had up until this point has been a situationship. So it might be casual, but it feels like there's quite deep feelings there, from both sides. I feel like both of you have been through a lot in the recent years. Good English. Don't mind me. Both of you have been through a lot in recent years, and I feel like it's like a divine timing. But I feel like for this to actually move forward, there's got to be a lot of work from both sides. So be patient is what I'm getting with this person, because they do have a lot of unconditional love for you. They do have a lot to sift through and work on. And that's where they're at today, in their headspace. So I'm just going to pull some cards in relation to what they'd want to say to you. So what does Pile 2's person want to say? 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 Okay. All right. So at the moment, they've got a few things to say. So I feel like even your connection is quite intimidating. Like, as you can see, I'm open to compromise. So it may be that some of you have been through there's been kind of like a falling out in the situationship. And some of you might be in separation because they've taken a step back. It feels like they're in two minds about the connection. It feels like they think about you a lot. As you can see, they're obsessed with your body, which is cute. The love or the feelings, or the deep connection that you have scares them. You come up in their dreams, but this is the other card that's come up, and it's maybe. Like, I feel like at the moment their head is all over the place, and they're not sure whether they're Arthur or Martha is what I'm getting. They're very scattered. It's like they get very distracted easily. They may even be like a heavy drinker, or someone that's into drugs and that sort of thing. And I feel like they turn to substances because at the moment they don't know what to think, because they're so all over the place, and this is because they need to work on themselves. So that if they've taken a step back from you, it's because they need to be working on themselves and to working on straightening their heads, basically. They feel like, for those that are in a separation, they feel like they will hurt you if they continue this situationship in the state of mind that they're in at the moment. They're all over the place. It's like their attention span is not very long. So it's like shiny thing, oh that, oh that. They get distracted and they're not focused whatsoever, and they also what's the word? I feel really cloudy. So they feel really cloudy in their head, and like they know that they're not themselves, basically. So why would you want to put someone in that position where they'll see your true colours, basically? But because outward facing, remember, they're on the hard side. Like, they're an alpha male, nothing gets to them. But on the inside, they're like heavily like insecure. You intimidate them, and they also are all over the place. But they're working hard on straightening up their mind. Like, my head is hurting now, and I feel like that's what they're like. See, I can't even speak. I feel like their head is all over the place. Their judgment is clouded. They can't make a decision to save themselves right now because they're all over the place, and they know that if you guys were to continue your situationship in his current state or their current state, it would just end up and hurt. So this is what they need to say to you right now. In terms of what are they working on, because I feel like got a few cards. So I'm looking at the shadow messages. This is what's going through their head. I need you all to myself. Don't leave me. I'm scared to face you because you mirror to me all the things I need to heal. So you trigger them, and that's why they're intimidated by you, probably subconsciously, because whatever happens in the time when you actually spend time with them, it's almost like it triggers something within them that they start freaking out. And it's not about you, it's about them. So it's all like, for instance, okay, I'll give you an example. When someone says, I don't know how to explain this, but say you're intimate with someone and you're having a conversation after the intimacy and you're talking about something, and basically whatever is talked about makes you feel so uncomfortable you want to do a runner, but you want to do a runner instantly. Like, your whole body seizes up and you want to get out of there as quickly as possible. And that's how they are feeling. That's what happens when they have like conversations with you. Something about your energy triggers them because of their insecurities on the inside. And the other shadow message is, I have trust issues. And this may be, like, the trust issues may be because of their recent relationship breakdown. So, they've got to learn to trust themselves to be able to trust others, that people aren't going to break their heart. So, if this is something that's happened close to their relationship breaking down, they've got to unpack what's happened in that relationship. And given their insecurities, I feel like they could have done better. They're hard on themselves, and they feel like they could have maybe salvaged the relationship earlier, or they're reflecting now and they're looking at it and going, oh, you know what? Like, I could have been out of that relationship a lot earlier, and how did I not notice this, that and the other? So it's kind of like they're questioning themselves about any type of relationship, and they're all over. They're questioning themselves. And they're wondering. It's like, I feel like it's a self-worth thing. Like, they feel like they're not good enough for anyone right now. So yeah, that's what they're currently going through, which is a lot. I hope they work on themselves. I'm just going to pull some cards for pile 2. about what action should be taken. What action should pile 2 take? Ooh. Okay. So we've gotten the Pilgrim, the Sustainer, and Kairos. So what I'm getting from these cards in relation to what action you should be taking in this connection. I feel like if this person is a good person, but I feel like right now you should be focusing on yourself as opposed to focusing on what's happening in their heads and being upset and taking personally what's not happening. I feel like if you like this relationship could go 2 ways. It could go if you're in it for the long haul. So if you're in it if you see a future with this person, then stick with it. So if there's some of you that are in a separation at the moment, and you see a future with this person, stick with it. Like maybe for those that are in a separation, have your fun, but keep them in your pocket, that sort of thing. I feel like there is stuff for you to work on as well, because I feel like you're being triggered by them. So their inaction or their shutdown, if you're in a separation, I feel like is triggering you. So at this point, you should be working on why you're being triggered by them and their kind of shutdown behavior and no contact. If you're in a relationship and this resonates with the person that you're with, what your action should be is to support them. So if they don't push them, so don't push them into anything, don't push them into talking about anything. If they need to you need to work out what their vice is to ground, is what I'm getting. So what do they do that makes them feel better? Is it going to the gym? Is it playing golf? Is it going to play soccer or something? It feels like it's a sporty kind of person. So whether they take pleasure in hiking or whatever, like an active kind of person, that's what they should be doing, spending time in nature and that sort of thing. I feel like that's for them. It's meant to be action for you, but I feel like the action for those that are in a relationship is encourage them and support them to do that. So whatever their vice is to make them feel better, to be able to clear their mind and also maybe even open up. So if they find it hard to open up, this is what they need to be doing. For those that are in the separations sort of thing, you need to ultimately work out whether you're prepared to stay and wait. And I feel like you're going to need a lot of patience with this, or whether you move on. I feel like I said, you get triggered, you trigger each other. But they also remember that they have been through a lot and they've also been through a lot in recent times. So if people from the past, if that relationship is still lingering, which I feel like in some cases that it might be, so that broken down relationship is still lingering, you may need to wait for that to finish completely. I feel like the other person maybe wants to reconcile, but I don't think this pile 2 person wants to, because they're really hurt and they're done with that person. And they've most likely been done with that person for a very long time. I also feel like for those that are in separation, once that person has completely gone from their lives, they're going to open up to you about what's been happening, for you to understand why they've been treating you the way that they've been treating you. For those that are in a relationship, I feel like that person, so you need to encourage them. Like I said, probably what's it called? Have already said this, but you need to encourage and support for them to find a device where they can clear their mind if they don't already have one. And if they do have one, strongly encourage them to do that so that they can open up and talk about what's happening. So I feel like that's the action advice for all of you. I'm just going to pull another card or two. All right. Oh. All right. So, I'm not sure if you can see that. So it's positive turnaround and be conscious. So when I see positive turnaround, so if you, okay, so there's two aspects here. So those that are in a relationship, it's just confirming basically what I've already said. If you encourage them to go, do whatever they need to do to for them to clear their head, they'll open up and talk about what's going on in their mind and what's going on with themselves at the moment. You've got to be open-hearted, be conscious, and you've got to be completely present. So don't be looking at your phone. It's got to be an in-person conversation, not over text or anything like that. It's got to be like you both got to be completely present. For those that are in separation, if you do have the patience to stick around, because I feel like it's all off. When I say off, I feel like it's like it could be a few months away at this point, and you do stick around waiting for them, there will be a positive turnaround, and then they will come back and they'll tell you exactly what's happened or what they've been going through. Again, it's not a conversation to be had, via messages or anything like that. It's got to be an in-person thing, and you've got to be completely present. So don't be on your phone, is what I'm getting. So thank you, pile 2. I'm going to close off the reading there. I hope that resonated with you. If it didn't resonate with you, maybe try another pile. Thank you. Okay, pile 3. So we're going to look into this person. What is this kind of person? So I feel like this person is a very out there kind of person, very confident, very extroverted, very colourful is what I'm getting. So they might swear a lot. They might, be very, don't mind the noises, be very outspoken and upfront is what I'm getting. Outspoken, but they're the kind of person that's like a larrikin, like they light up the room when they enter it. They make people laugh. I feel full of joy, like they're an upbeat kind of person. If that person doesn't resonate with you, then this pile isn't for you, and you might need to check the others. Okay, so what's pile 3's person? What's their current energy? Pile 3. What's pile 3's current energy? Temple, the village, the starborn, the ring. Just going to pull one more. What's the current energy of this person? Okay. So, went for one and got a lot more. All right. First of all, I'm getting... this person is quite intuitive, and they might be a water sign, so that's Cancer, water sign Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is what I'm getting. The current energy. They're very intuitive. They're very into you. Even though they're an extroverted person at the moment, it feels like they've kind of pulled back and they're in their man or woman cave. It feels like they come from a big family. It feels like they've got a lot going on right now. They have a lot of love for you, and it's like they're building their empire is what I'm getting. If you're in a separation with them, it feels like they're currently working on themselves and on there's family issues is what I'm getting. They're working on themselves and letting go of things that, may have triggered them before. Or they might be in a dark spot at the moment and they've kind of pulled back away from you. So I'm just trying to see what else I'm getting from this. They are... It's like they're focusing on everything else but their feelings for you. So they're focusing on their house, they're focusing on their career, they're focusing on their family. Like they've got a big family. It's like they're trying to deny themselves of what they feel for you, pile 3. This is what their current energy is. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. As in my culture would say, istina, which means the truth. They're holding back the truth is what I'm getting. Like they've got a lot of love for you, but I feel like they've been holding that back for such a long time. Like they've been watching you, whether that be on social media, they see you around the place, or you see them out, that sort of thing. They have a lot of love for you. So it feels like they've been in a cocoon state for such a long time. This person may not have even approached you yet. Like, no, they have. So there's something. You've had some kind of interaction with them. It feels like they're very slow moving. Even though they're very extroverted and they're very out there, very big. They're quite fun to be around, but I feel like they have fallen for you deeply, but they don't actually know how to convey that to you because they don't know how you're feeling. Or they kind of do know how you're feeling, but they're not 100% sure, and they're not sure in themselves, so they don't know how to come towards you with an offer. So they're kind of in that kind of state at the moment. So there's a lot going on for them, or there's a whole lot of stuff that they're trying to hold back. With this, the Starborn, like I feel like they're quite intuitive, and again, there's a lot of water around. Like I feel like there's it's a like heavily water sign kind of chart. Because they've been holding back for so long, I feel like even though they may have pulled away from you, those true deep feelings are bubbling up to the surface, and that cocoon that they have kept themselves in for, it feels like a long time. I feel anxious. So this extroverted person is anxious. It's like when it comes to emotions and that sort of thing, they've got to be 100% sure before they can actually express those to a significant other. And I feel like this person is going to, or they're thinking about, coming towards you and telling you what is going on with them and why they've pulled back and why they haven't said what they are holding back for such a long time. There's a lot going on, is what I keep getting. A lot going on. Whether they're distracting themselves, because I just got distracted from this reading, and this is what I mean, like they're getting distracted by what their heart truly wants, but the universe isn't letting them. Like, It's coming up. It's like that egg that I'm looking at. It's like they've held it in for such a long time. You may not have noticed them before you started having this, whatever it is, with them. And it feels like that they've stopped lying to themselves and they've realised how deep their feelings run for you. That they're dealing with that. They're like, they've come to terms, or they're coming to terms with it for some of you. For some of them, they're just coming to terms with that, and it's like scaring them a bit. And it's also triggering them a bit as well, because they're dealing with stuff from the past. Like, I feel like I'm crowded in here today. I feel like all my guides are all around me. But I feel like you could be actually the intuitive one. Because I feel like there's people standing right next to me, but they're all around me. It's like I've got two by each side, and there's two behind me, and it's very crowded in here. Some of you may have been stonewalled, but I don't feel it's like stonewall. I feel like it's like it needed to happen for them to realise what an impact you make on their lives. So I feel like this connection's in a separation at the moment. It's clear as day, because there's lots of thinking going on. And if you are in this, that there isn't a separation and it just feels a bit distant, but you still see them and that sort of thing, it's because they're overwhelmed with their feelings for you, basically. Very intuitive, like I said, water sign. Or at least they've got water sign in their birth chart, so you may want to look at that. So what do they want to say to you? That's what I want to see. What does pile 3's person want to say? And I feel like they're holding her back. It's a bit graphic, isn't it? That's a bit cute too. Very deep. What does pile 3's person want to say? Ooh. What does pile 3's person want to say? All right, one more. What does pile 3's person want to say? All right. So, if you're in a separation with this person, they can't stop thinking about you. I feel a lot of passion. I feel a lot of like this connection is in so many ways amazing. Like, their communication may not be so, even for someone that seems like an extrovert and that sort of thing, their communication is probably pretty shit. Like, they're obsessed with your body. Like, they imagine you naked. This is clearly for those that are in a separation thing. Like, they find you insatiable. Like, they can't get enough of you. They don't want anything to change about you. They'll absolutely adore everything from head to toe. Wholeheartedly is what I'm getting. Body, mind, spirit. They're attracted to absolutely everything about you. They put you on a pedestal, so you're like a fucking god or a goddess for them. And then it's like they're a bit insecure at the same time. Why are they insecure though? When they're such... But that's something... Then... Oh, okay. So... They think you're into them, but you come off as a bit standoffish or a bit wishy-washy. Nonchalant is what I'm getting. And they're not... They feel like they've fallen for you hard. Like hard. Hard that it scares the fucking living daylight out of them, but you haven't really given much of yourself. You haven't really given them a clear as day message that you're really into them. Like for them, it feels like they want to be with you forever, whereas you are more like this is a casual thing. This is what they perceive, is what I'm getting. So it's like, this is whether I think so, yes. It's like, and then you get the, I sometimes wonder if you care, as in, they sometimes wonder if you give a shit about them as much as they give a shit about you. Like, they see a future with you. They see forever with you. But deep down, I think you're holding back. And this is where there's a massive imbalance with the connection. So they want to take care of you, but you're a proud person and you don't want to. You're an independent person. You don't need to be taken care of. Like, you got this. If it falls through, no big deal. Like, you're like, whatever. That's what it comes across as. There needs to be a bit more balance in this connection. I feel like they give a lot and you kind of hold back. And that may be the other way around. So that's what I'm getting from this connection is one is like, woohoo! The other one is like, whatever. Or they come across that way. Feels like more that they come across that way. And like you're holding back. There's no need to hold back. Life's too short to hold back. Unless you're having doubts about the situation. I was going to say conversation, but what I want to say is situation. Has there been a conversation about where this connection is going? Because I feel like that needs to happen if you're in this dynamic at the moment. I feel like some of you may be in separation, but I also feel like there are some of you that are in this kind of connection where you're like, oh, whatever, we'll see what happens type thing. Happy to go with the flow, and the other one's like, I'm so in love with you already. I feel like it's a new connection too, so it doesn't feel like it has been going on for a very long time. So there needs to be more of a balance within this connection. And I feel like that's what they want to say, but they don't know how to say it to you. What's coming up for this person in a shadow sense? File 3. Okay. So I got, right now, affection is something I find hard to give and receive. Okay, so this person may also have been traumatized, and so if they are quite affectionate with you, it could be because they're actually quite in love with you. And this is probably a harsh message, but I need to say it. So if you're noticing that they've fallen hard for you and you're like, see what happens, stop the connection now and don't break their heart, is what I'm getting, because they've fallen hard. And if you're just taking them for a ride, well, that's not fair. When I think of you, I feel angry. And this pain in my heart is too much to bear. Okay. So, whose shadow side is this? Okay, so it's not their shadow side, it's your shadow side is what I'm getting. Right now, affection is something I find hard to give and receive. When I think of you, I feel angry. This pain in my heart is too much to bear. Okay, so I feel like there's a residue from a past connection that's interfering in this connection. It's like you hold back, you don't give everything about yourself, and it's like you're constantly testing them, and that's probably because of your own insecurities. When I think of you, I feel angry. So this, what's the word? It's like, what I'm seeing is like, what are they called? Dots of the past from past relationships. It's like you don't trust this person and you haven't trusted any of your relationships because of past pain. And it's like your heart is armored. So the stuff that is coming up in this connection has, actually, no, why you're holding back is because of what's happened to you in the past, is what I'm getting. I'm just going to get one more. Yeah. I need to be alone is the next one, which is your shadow side. So I feel like that's why you're holding back. So even though this is meant to be about your person, this is actually majority about you and your behavior in this connection. Like you feel like, oh, you know, I should probably be alone. This is just a casual thing until something else better happens. Or this person, oh, you know, that irritates me about them. That irritates me about them. You know, can I be fucked with, you know, dealing with that sort of stuff in the future, is what I'm getting. I'm just going to pull another one. And the next one that comes up is I have trust issues. So like I was saying earlier, you have trust issues, and that's because of your previous relationships. Like maybe they've gone full speed ahead really quickly. They've evolved into something really serious really quickly, and you haven't ever been able to trust them. And I feel like in this connection, again, the same thing seems to be happening. This person has fallen for you. You spend a lot of time together. They've fallen for you and can see a future with you. And because you have trust issues, you're holding back and you're basically not on the same page. So I feel like this, without even pulling any cards for the action, I feel like if you're the person with trust issues that's holding back and that's getting irritated with stuff in this connection, about you don't see a future with this or you can't because of this X, Y, Z, I feel like you don't have unconditional love for this person like they do for you, first of all. Second of all, you need to have a conversation with them about your intentions, where you're at in this connection, and get them to express where they're at in this connection too, because you both are not on the same page whatsoever. It feels like one wants full-time commitment, like future, forever kind of thing, and the other one's not feeling it or making excuses as to why it can't work, because really they've been hurt so many times in their lives that they can't, all they see is a person's fault, as opposed to having unconditional love and accepting that person for who they are wholeheartedly as a person, like their bad traits and their good traits and like everything about them. So your action, pile 3, is have a conversation with them about where you're both at in this connection. If you're spending a lot of time with this person will assume that you're just as deeply into it as they are. And that's like a massive like neon sign that it's like I'm getting flashing lights. Hello. Like they worship the floor that you walk on. Don't play with their heart. I'm going to leave that there. Pile 3. I hope that resonated with you. And I hope that's given you some clarity on to what you need to think about and the conversation that you need to have with this person. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in another one.